Thanks for staying tuned. I am Stanford Harder with your Thursday, March 12th edition of the HGP Sportscast. In basketball, the inaugural Andrew Eiffel Knockout Championships is set to bounce off on Sunday at the Burnham Hard Court. Hear more in this report. The tournament, which is first to be held under the newly elected Georgetown Amateur Basketball Association stewardship, which is led by Jermaine Slater. Speaking at the press briefing on Wednesday, Slater stated the reason for naming the tournament after the late basketball player who was found dead at his place of employment in Trinidad and Tobago last October is to honor him and preserve his legacy. The president also spoke on how the tournament is going to be played out over the next couple of weeks.
We'll see two divisions, which is the Open Division and the Under 21 Division. Our administration have moved to exclude second division from our tenure to try and have more basketball played at the open level, which will give more persons a chance to actually play the game. A lot of teams have a lot of players, and sometimes these players don't get to see the court. So in our tenure, we'll move to use the open division. Each club will have the chance to at least put forward 2 teams per division, so they can have 2 teams within the open and 2 teams within the Under-21 division, which will see for more games and the players will get to see and meet different competitors on any given night.
He noted that the tournament is sponsored slowly by the association and expressed hope that it can garner more local support. One question on whether the current political climate played a part in the lone sponsorship of the tournament by the association, Public Relations Officer of GABA, Raul Tony, answered in the negative. He, however, highlighted that the association is trying to build a new structure and to give basketball a unique brand.
Actually, no. In fact, what we wanted to do with this new structure, we are trying to give basketball a brand. We first have to put a product out before we could tell sponsors that this is what we actually want you to be a part of. So we're hoping that we're optimistic of a smooth flowing tournament, and one which we're person sitting on the outside looking in could see that we have structure, we have orders, clubs and everything, they're coming out to compete. We have a smooth flowing association to get things done. So we actually want to show person that we could get things done, but we also welcome any impetus from the business community in order to make our tenure and everything that we want to do for basketball very easy.
He expressed his desire for clubs and members to have faith in the association that even in the face of adversity, basketball will still be played.
We're doing an open and an U21, and that alone should address the means of having a competitive basketball being played at all times. I don't think officiating should be an issue in terms of having a competitive game, but we are going to meet with GBOC. We will meet with GBOC. Our meeting with GBOC basically has nothing to do with ensuring that the games are competitive, because really and truly, no official is responsible for the game being competitive. That has to do between the 2 teams that are playing against each other or who you're playing against.
Tony also related that the teams will be sanctioned in upcoming tournaments for being tardy, since the association is bent on lifting the standards of the game. For HGP Sport, I am Stanford Howard. In athletics news, last year has been a challenging, but 2020 so far has been a good one for Andrea Foster, the daughter of Alicia Fortune, one of Guyana's most senior and still active athletes. Jaden Samuels is following this story.
As the young Foster continues to put in the studies and improve her athletics, this year the local track star has improved her performances, coming off a not-so-good outing in 2019. Foster, who hails from Bedford Acting on the east coast of Demerara, went into her college championship barely making it into the finals and placed 8th. However, this year at the same championship, the Guyanese is steaming things up handsomely, qualifying for the finals and bagging an overall 2nd position. Communicating with HGP Sport, Foster says the journey to success remains challenging, but the Almighty always comes first, while the rest is between herself and coach Mark Elliott. The teenager this year has her sights set on championing her personal timings and will continue to foster her academics as she continues her scholarship in the USA. Jaden Samuels, HGP Sport.
Now switching gears to some cricket, the Caribbean side lost their opening game against New Zealand as the men's over 50 World Cup bowls off. Jaden Samuels tells us more.
Opting to bowl first, the Kiwis were bowled out for 186 in 44 overs. However, that very score proved still too much for the West Indies. Among the wickets, Farid Hussain 3 for 46 and was supported well by Azad Mohammed 3 for 25, while for New Zealand, Adrian Dale top scored. He made 56 and John Gary 34. In reply, the Caribbean side were placed under early pressure, losing 4 wickets for just 48 runs, but a middle-order cameo from Azad Mohammed, he made 35, and 25 from Farid Hussain brought back a glimmer of hope, but that was taken away by the New Zealanders, leaving the Windies 36 runs short of an opening win. Bowling for New Zealand, Neil Rowlandson bagged 4 for 18 to hand the Kiwis an easy win. Jaden Samuels, HGP Sport.
Thank you, Jaden. And still with cricket, the Guyana Jaguars hunt for their 6th title as the 8th rung of the West Indies Championship bowls off at Providence in the picking ball fixture. The Guyana Jaguars, who trailed the Barbados Pride by some 30 points, continues to show why they have won the title 5 times in a row. The 8th rung, which is a day and night fixture, started with the Pride winning the toss and opting to bat. But smart bowling and accurate timing handed the Jaguars their first wicket in the 2nd over, that of Shane Mosley for duck. Shamar Brooks was the next man in, but his spell was cut short as he was trapped LBW by Paul for 9 from 18 balls to leave the Pride on 19 for 2. Opener Craig Braffett on 25 and Jonathan Carter 27 helped to save face for the Barbados side by building a 3rd wicket stand and finishing on the dinner break on 63 for 2. After the break, Jonathan Carter fell on the 5th ball after resumption of play, and up to news time, the Pride was 138 for 5. In table tennis, Secure Innovation and Concept Inc. showcased that promise were made to be kept when they handed over a spanking new bicycle to tennis prodigy Jasmine Billingsley. Samuel Gillis reports.
9-year-old Jasmine Bilinji is the reigning national under 11, 13, and 21 champion in table tennis in Guyana. She is sponsored by Secure Innovations and Concept Inc. Last weekend, she took the Twin Island Republic by storm when she won the Silver Bowl Under 11 tournament and took the runner-up spot in the Under 13 category there. The managing director and owner of Secure Innovations, Harold Top Gun Hopkinson, had promised the tennis sensation that if she won in her category, she would be the recipient of a sparkling new cycle. The company made good on their promise on Wednesday after the young lady defeated Ashley Mohammed in the Under 11 category. Bilinji's coach, Colin France, disclosed plans of continuing to work with her to further improve her speed, fitness, technique, and tactics. He opined that young Bilinji has a bright future ahead of her and that no doubt she would make herself and country proud. For HGP Sport, I am Samuel Gillis.
And that's all we have for this edition of the HGP Sportscast. I'm Stanford Howard reminding you what makes something special is not just what you have to gain, but what you feel there is to lose. Over to you, Colwyn. Goodbye.